A fucking stupid idea. Yeah. Oh, we're here, boys. 2 cows were bucking there. Yep. This time last week, I was all inclusive. 28.3k in the fucking ultra. You are smashing it! Don't you let anyone else tell you otherwise, either.
Keep going.
40 kilometers in. I'll be lying till if it says I wasn't feeling it. That's us. 50k. 13 to go. Fucking eat 13k's for breakfast, boy. I'm fucking buckled, man. $60k, baby! Welcome back to another video. 26th Extreme Causeway Ultra Marathon on the 16th of September 2023 was fantastic. So at the very start, you'll see a man drawing a line in the sand. The reason why me and Sherelle are laughing is because we were sitting on Port Stewart Beach waiting for people to rock up. There was no one about. It was like 6:45 in the morning. It was still pitch black, and I was like, where is the start line? There's actually no one about. Sherelle then turned around and says, I guarantee you he's just going to rock up, draw a line in the sand, and tell you that's where it's going. So that's why we were laughing. It was like a sort of like a wee internal joke, but that is literally all they did. I thought it was going to be like this grand start line, but there actually wasn't. It was just quite straightforward and simple. Line in the sand, line up behind it, big fellas, girls, ladies, gentlemen. This is where this is the start line. So that's why we're actually genuinely laughing about it. Give us a quick debrief, and then he set us off, and that was it.
Around the Land Rover, the grey Land Rover, where Lucy is, and then back up here, just past the danger sign, you'll see some steps. You're heading up there and turning left. For the most part, you're turning left at the first part of the course to Port Balance Rest today. Stay on the coastal path. There is waymarking signs. They're scantish because there's nowhere really for you to go.
When we set off, there was 100 ultras. There was 100 ultra runners.
3, 2, 1. Good luck, everybody.
Away we go.
Is this the halfway mark?
Yes.
Yeah. What I would say is it was quite good having Sherelle there as my support team. He met me at a few points throughout it, and it just gives you that little bit of a lift, you know what I mean, a wee bit of a boost when you're struggling and you're hurting and you've no energy, and then all of a sudden, poof, your wife appears and you're just like, oh yes, let's go. I'll keep banging on about the scenes in this place. The area, it's beautiful. You should do it solely for that reason. I bumped into these 2 fellas here. I can't really remember their name. I think one was called Jack and one was called Jamie or something like that. They were 2 cool dudes. And it was quite interesting to meet like-minded people that actually enjoy doing the things that you enjoy. The first 10 kilometers of the race itself was quite straightforward. The majority of it was flat. It was dead handy. I was keeping a good pace. I think it was like 5.5 to 6 minute kilometers the whole way. There was nothing really difficult about it, and it was the first 10 kilometers. Not really much to say about the first 10 kilometers apart from it's just an easy 10 kilometer route, and that's it. I had a bit. This is one of the other reasons why you should check your kit before you try it. I honestly didn't know how to use the Camel Pack straw, and I couldn't get any water from it, and it was driving me mental. I had water in the back of me, 2 bottles in a belt behind me, but I wanted the Camel Pack to work, and I just couldn't get it to work, and I don't know why. I was just like, what's going on? This needs to be sorted. But the first 10 kilometers, not too bad. Just crossed the 10 kilometer mark. You see, top one there.
Just crossed the 10-kilometer mark so far. Feeling not too bad. Feeling not too good. Can't get this to work. It's not working. What the fuck? I don't know what's wrong with it. But all good. 10k in, 54 to go.
Oh, sorry, microphone died and the baby woke up. So you're just going to bear with me here for the next.
Welcome to Port Rush.
Next 10k leading up into the 20k, it was a wee bit more difficult, and I'll explain the reasons why. But at the start of it, see when you're running down into Port Rush just as the sun has risen and people are still asleep and there's a couple of walkers out, it is such a beautiful, peaceful place. And also, I've actually never come into Port Rush this way before in my life. Like on foot, I've always driven from the opposite side. So it definitely gives you a different perspective on the glorious place of Port Rush. And if you're from Northern Ireland, you'll know that Port Rush is a very iconic place in Northern Ireland. If you're coming here to Northern Ireland, I would actually highly recommend that you go and visit Port Rush, because 1, it's beautiful, 2, there's plenty to do, and 3, the chippies and the ice cream and all up there, fantastic. The promenade or the marina in Port Rush, when you're running around it and there's no one around, beautiful, peaceful. It would actually make you want to move to Port Rush. It's actually that peaceful. This ultra run was more of a it should be used as more of a tourist attraction that tourists should do when they come to Northern Ireland, because it does give you a different perspective on the Causeway Coast, and it's fantastic.
All right, mate.
I arrived at the first aid station, quite comfortable. Hadn't really taken on much fluids for obvious reasons. Couldn't get the camel pack to work. But yeah, first aid station, just a little bit of water, some sweets, and a slice of cake. And off I went on my merry way, feeling actually quite comfortable. This cake, I ate quite a lot of this during the day. It was at every single aid station, and it was beautiful. I don't know if it was nice because the calories that I was absolutely burning through running this ultra, or if it actually was nice. But on a general day, I probably would never eat this cake, but on that day, it was beautiful. You want this? No? Right, okay. This was an eye-opener. This part of the first 20k was very humbling. Running on a beach is extremely difficult if you're not used to it and you've never done it before, because you feel like you're actually not moving. You genuinely feel like you're stuck in the sand. It is horrendous. It's horrible to run in. It slows you down. Also, I was running into a headwind. It started raining in a bit, and this is the first real part of the race where I was like, wow, this is going to be more difficult than what I actually thought it was going to be. But that beach there was quite difficult, quite humbling. It was also quite nice to see a man, I think it was a man anyway, riding a horse up the beach. Like, imagine taking your horse for a ride on the beach on a Saturday morning. It's beautiful. Views, man. Views for days. Look at that. Like, it's crazy. Views. Right up and until Dunluce Castle. Around Dunluce Castle is the 20k mark. And once you're there, you're like, what are you? You're 1/3 in. You're 1/3 in already, and the majority of it was all flat. Apart from the beach, the first 20k, nothing really difficult about the first 20k. The first 20k, you're also very fresh.
Dunluce Castle. Been there once. Just crossed into the 20-kilometer mark. Feeling relatively alright so far. That beach there was The 4K on the beach, 3K on the beach was fucking brutal. But we're moving well now. 20K, 1/3 in, 2 more thirds to go. Let's go, baby.
This portion of the race was probably probably one of the most enjoyable parts of the actual race itself. Reasons being is I encountered quite a lot of the people who were walking. There's a marathon walk on it, and you encounter quite a lot of those people walking, and some of them are in good spirits, some of them don't really want to talk to you, but I'm the type of person who just likes to try and, do you know what I mean, lift the mood a little bit and try and speak to people and introduce myself to people, and you know what I mean, I just like talking to people. There's also an aid station at the 34-kilometer mark.
Don't know if I got that in camera, but 2 cows were bucking there. Yep. Just run past a lot of folk who must be checking in for the other races. Banging pots and pans now. Fucking psychopaths. Oh, 22 clay, 22K in. Let's go, baby. Not gonna kick back. Let's go. $40K left. Let's go, baby.
Back onto the boulders again, mate. These are dangerous. These boulders are dangerous. Like I said, I went over a couple times on it and I thought, oh, that's the ankle. The ankle snapped. It's gone. So be very careful if you ever do this. Take your time over them. I know it's a race, but you want to take your time over these boulders, because see if you snap an ankle, the best way to put it is you're fucked. Same again, views spectacular. You're not going to really get much better views than the Causeway coastline. You're genuinely not. It's absolutely stunning. Like, I honestly can't emphasize the sheer beautiful scenery that is on this race. It is second to none. Also, this is where the first man who on the ultra was running back the way, because you get the Ballintoy Harbour. You turn around and you come back. This man was coming back at before I even reached the 40-kilometer mark. An absolute animal, an absolute crazy man. Running back, I was like, wow, as if he had back. I think he ended up with 4 hours and something. Crazy.
Oh, excuse me, sorry.
Yeah.
Fuck hell. Look at that. Wow. Quad burner. A fucking stupid idea. This time last week I was all inclusive. Now I'm fucking 28.3k into a fucking ultra, climbing ridiculous fucking steps, man. The fuck? $30k in. That was the worst. That was the hardest. The hardest portion so far. Whew. There were some brutal parts in that, but that's us now. Roughly, I'm just shy of fucking halfway. Another K and a half, and I'm halfway. Oh yes. Oh. Cramp started at fucking kilometer 26, so we're nursing that. Oh, also, I got this working. You push it down to stop it, and you pull it up to open. So it took me nearly 30k to figure that out. Check your kit, kids, before you fucking start. Let's go.
This is quite a good aid station. You're sort of a wee bit deep in the hurt locker here at this point, and it's a very welcomed sight when you see a little bit of morale and a little bit of sweets. You know what I mean? Just to keep you perked back up again. So grab a big handful of sweets and off you trot again, big fella.
Okay, guys.
That fella's turned around already. Mental. Ladies, you're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you very much.
So you are. I don't feel like it. My legs feel like they're about to just fall clean off me. See you later. Thank you very much. Such kind people. You're doing a fucking wonderful job. All for a good cause. Keep her going.
Well, we just want
Here, everyone's got their own bottles. You're smashing it.
Don't let him get away.
You are smashing it. Don't you let anyone else tell you otherwise, either.
Keep going, you
Yes. Oh. You two should be running.
No bother to us.
No.
Wait till you get to the top of there.
No. Where's this turnaround point?
And you know,
Is it? Long? Is it actually? It's very slow going at this point.
it is.
And that can't. You need to be careful where you're stepping as well. You end up with no ankle.
Yeah.
You're like Action Man there, mate. So you are carrying all the gear. All right. How much money have you raised?
Keep her death. Never mind, no, keep her death.
How much money have you raised? 3.5 grand.
And then lo and behold, just before the 40k mark, who did I bang into round the corner? And it was a surprise to see her there, the wife. What a spectacular feeling to stand there. God love her. She managed to give me some Percy pigs, a banana. It just picked morale straight back up again. And that was me, off on my merry way again, just happy as Larry, happy as a pig in shite, as they say, carrying on.
Tell you what, you be careful with these bad boys. Snap your ankle right quick. Percy.
And then on to the dreaded beach, mate. This is the part of the race where I was doing jogging 800 metres, walking 200 metres. My legs were completely shot, cramping all the time, horrendous. But we managed to get to the 40k mark in relatively good shape, and I was extremely proud of myself at this point.
"40 kilometres in. I'll be lying to you if it says I wasn't feeling it. But 23 to go. 40 done, 23 to go.
So once I left the wife, I didn't actually show you this, but you run down into Ballintoy and you have to run up to the top of Ballintoy. If you've ever been to Ballintoy before, you'll know that to get into Ballintoy Harbour, there's a snake road that leads you down into Ballintoy. You run up that, mate, and then about a K out that way, and then that's the turnaround point. That part of the race is, I walked the whole hill. I'm not going to lie to you, I walked the whole way to the top of the hill. It was fucking brutal. It was extremely sore. It was demoralising. But at the top of the hill, there's a reward. It's a turnaround point. It's like a marker. It's like a waypoint in your head. You're like, just get to the turnaround point and then just turn, like, you're on your way back to the finishing line. Just get there, Big Mike. It's also an aid station where it's another chance to pick up more cake, more sweets, refill your water bottles. Off you go again, and then you run. I managed to run the whole way down into Ballintoy Harbour.
These fucking rocks are horrendous, mate.
And then you're going back across them boulders. I keep saying this, but I know it's monotonous. The boulder portions of this race, difficult to navigate, very slow going, very dangerous. They're the parts of the race I dislike the most. God love the wife. Where I met her the first time, she stayed there and waited for me coming back. I said to her, I'll be back in like 45 minutes. I was over an hour. It was about an hour and 20 minutes. It was taking me to get up to the top of Ballintoy Harbour and then come back again. So it actually took longer than what I expected. But God love her. She stayed there the whole way. More Percy pigs, another banana, just a welcomed morale boost. And then it's nice to come back. It's nice when you're coming back the way because you get to see the Causeway Coast from another angle, from another perspective, coming back on it an opposite way. It's just such a stunning place. Honestly, like I can't. It's hard to put into words how beautiful the Causeway Coast is. You need to get up there and walk it or run it or drive it. It's fucking beautiful, man. And then on your way back, you cross into the 50k mark. The 50k mark is also another massive marker in the race itself. Like getting to 50k is such a relief. It's a good buzz, and it just makes you feel really good about yourself that you've managed to run 50 kilometers. Like people will never even experience doing that in their life. It's such an achievement in itself as the good 50k, which leaves around about 13k left remaining, and that 13k, brutal, mate.
Just broke into fucking 50k, boy. 13k remaining. 13 kilometers. That's us. 50k. 13 to go. I fucking eat 13k's for breakfast, boy.
So just after the 50k mark, you'll come to an aid station. What's that mean? More cake, more sweets. Off you go, mate.
Any other day, I would never eat this. I don't even know what kind of cake it is. It's filled with... I'm fucking buckled, man. I'm eating my cake and peas, would you?
But at this point in the race, I was starting to really feel it mentally. It was starting to take its toll on me. Bearing in mind, because I've been on my feet for maybe 6 hours at this point. 6 hours, 5.5, 6 hours, don't really know, can't really remember the time, but it starts taking its toll on me, and I'm just completely over this race, and I want to get it finished. But then you're just hit with the views again, mate. The views are spectacular. Breaking into the 53 kilometre mark. The 53 kilometre mark means that there's only 10k left. You're like, oh, 10k, I can do 10k in 45 minutes. So you're like, oh yes, 10k left. It's just, oh, it's 2 park runs. That's all it is. It's just 2 stupid park.
That makes 10k left. Final 10k. Whew. I've PB'd a 10k before in 44 minutes. Ain't getting 44 minutes a day. 10k left. Let's go. The 10kers running. Oh, I wish I had their legs.
The final 10k of the race, for me, because of the time I finished at, was a bit of a crazy one, because they set the 10k race off. Seeing the 10kers run past you, vroom, 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 you're like, I wish I had your legs, mate, because you look so fresh, and I just want to have fresh legs, and I've only got 10k to go. Like, I can PB a 10k in 44 minutes is the fastest time I've ever done a 10k. So like, but when you're this far deep into the hurt locker, it's taken me it's taken me about an hour and 5 minutes, maybe even longer. Can't really remember to get the 10k done. You run into the Causeway, full of tourists again. Don't really know what to do. You're unsure of what you're doing, but it's a beautiful sight to see, especially when you're hanging out, and you're also, at this point, you're approaching the 60 kilometre mark. 60k's into a 63k race. Oh, such a good feeling.
$60k, baby! 60 kilometers in, 4 to go. Fuck, brutal. 62.7k in, and I've nothing left to give. I've given everything, honestly.
And then the last portion of the race, when you come across that last little board, that last little bridge, off you go. Final 700 metres. And I just thought to myself, just run the whole thing, Michael. Just run the whole lot. Run all the way in. Finish strong. So I'll leave you with this final portion of the race. And then I'll see you at the very end. Yeah?
About 700 metres left. I'm gonna run the whole way. Finish strong. I'm on 1 a.m. Cheers. I'm getting there. My man had a medal already. Animal. Animal. Here we go. Come on. We're getting there. We're there.
Dylan, go. Last 100. Last 100. Last 100. There you go.
Here we go. Earlier.
Well done.
Great job. Well done.
Peter Stewart, Ethan Griffin, and Gareth Dixon. Their fantastic prizes this afternoon, sponsored by Basalt 6.
Thank you very much.
Each and every one of you a winner, because Basalt 6 are giving 15% off their fantastic outdoor apparel wear in the community centre this afternoon.
And that's it. Crossed the finishing line. 63k, 40 miles. Spectacular. Unbelievable achievement. Makes you feel really good about yourself. Makes you feel proud. Bear in mind, a week before that I was all inclusive. This was also like the third run in like a month and a half, 2 months maybe. I just like all of a sudden just stopped running and never really managed to get back up to speed again. So I probably came into it a wee bit more unfitter than what I actually should have done. Came off holiday on the Monday, run a 34k on the Tuesday just to prove to myself mentally that I could do this race. Even though it was only like half the distance, but I know if I could do half the distance, I could do the full distance in my head, no problem. I just had this self-belief that I would easily be able to complete it. Causeway Ultra as a whole, will I be doing it again? Absolutely, it was fantastic. I'm actually genuinely can't wait to do it again next year. Maybe I'm going to try and see if I can get my wee brother or try and see if I can get the wife to do it with me. Other than that, I'll do it myself, mate, because it was that good. I genuinely think I'm probably going to do this race every year from now on. Such a beautiful, such a well-run event. 26 Extreme, such nice guys. The event itself, you learn a lot about yourself. It's difficult, it's fun, it's enjoyable, it hurts you, it makes you learn things. If you're from Northern Ireland, or if you're coming to visit Northern Ireland, try and structure around this race and come and do this race, especially if you're into your ultra runs. It's a very enjoyable race. You'll enjoy yourself. And it's just a good race. Can't really say much more about it other than it's a good race. And I encourage you to do it. But that's the end of the video. That's the end of the 26 Extreme Ultra Causeway Marathon, 64k. I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it, I enjoyed running it, and it was spectacular, and I cannot wait to do it again. Next video is the Belfast Half Marathon, which I did the day after this. Yeah, that's right. Woke up the next morning and went and run the Belfast Half Marathon. It's in the next video. If you like the video, hit the like button. Subscribe, you already subscribed. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. And thank you all. Thank you all for watching. It was a pleasure. Yeah, boy. Yes, who's this? Bingo! Bingo! Yes?